Hey, Scott 80 here. The title of this video is Pinoy Baiting. What is it? Why foreign vloggers use this exploitive tactic? What they hope to get out of it in the future? And also, what is the future of this type of vlogger? So let's get right into it. And I'm actually going to do this is going to be a two-part video. The first part's going to be the talking head. And the second part's going to be a B-roll kind of video along with reactions to the most ridiculous, cringeworthy, and absurd thumbnails and titles you've ever seen in your life. In any genre of YouTube, these ones literally take the cake. They're the most ridiculously absurd, nonsensical attempts at Pinoy baiting and clickbaiting that you'll ever see. And I will show you those and react to those. It's comical. It should be a comedy video instead of a serious video, but I'm gonna do this video because it needs to be said. I'm calling out these idiots because they are exploiting the Philippines. They are using their status as a foreigner and as a white person to exploit the Pinoy pride, to use the fact that some Filipinos have a colonial mentality, and they are using this to build their channel and make money so they don't have to work a real job in their own country. That is the reason why they do it. That is what they want out of it. They need to gain influence as fast as possible. So let's get to the thing. What is Pinoy baiting? Well, it's quite self-explanatory. I think we all know what that is. It's simply clickbaiting, but specifically the Filipinos, using, like I said, the Pinoy pride, using the fact that Filipinos like foreigners in their own country, and sometimes some of them are sort of interested in what the foreigners are up to in their own country, and the foreigners will exploit this. So that's what Pinoy baiting is. But it's degraded into this silly, almost like a game for these Pinoy baiter type vloggers. You know, they started off as travel vloggers, and then they got to the Philippines, and I'll explain in the second part of the video. What happens is that all these Filipinos just sub as sort of a groupthink mentality, and then they end up staying there because the vloggers realize that if they go to another country, they're not going to get the same amount of clicks. But they also realize that all their new subscribers are Filipino. So that's why they mold their videos to clickbait these Filipinos that are their new subscribers. So we'll talk about this in the second video. But for now, we'll just talk a bit more about some of the interesting things. And it's very an interesting phenomena in the Philippines. And listen, I'm not calling out all foreign vloggers that are in the Philippines. No way. In no way am I doing that. I'm only calling out specifically the Pinoy baiters. You know who they are. We don't even have to name names. You'll see in the second part of the video who they are, who the worst ones are. But we all know who they are. Anyone who has interest in the Philippines or watches Philippine vloggers or travel vloggers in the Philippines knows full well who these people are. And a lot of the times we know that it's disingenuous, it's unbecoming, and it's not right what they're doing. That's why I'm calling them out. A lot of Filipinos agree with me that this is not right. So let's continue on with the talking head, and then I will release part 2 shortly.
And one of the interesting things too, it's how that these vloggers, in getting so many subscribers and getting so many views, they will stay in the Philippines, but it's because of those subscribers and those views. It's not because of any other reason. But the Filipinos that are looking at these vloggers like some sort of a savior, and they're looking at these vloggers as these promotional gurus that are going to come and promote the country and save the country and grow the tourism, and everyone's going to have a job and everyone's going to have money. I mean, what a joke. What a joke. The thing is, these Pinoy baiting vloggers don't even drive tourism in the Philippines. They don't, because Pinoy baiting vloggers are only watched by locals and OFW, and the locals and OFW watch because they're interested to see what these foreigners think of their place. So that's why they want to see that. So those are the people that are watching it. And you'll see on the comments, oh, that's my place. Oh, that's where I live. Oh, like that's why they're watching. They're not watching for any other reason. And foreigners are also not watching these Pinoy baiters. Foreigners do watch some vloggers in the Philippines, yes, but not the Pinoy baiters. That's what I'm saying. Not the Pinoy baiters. So, and also, these Filipinos, some of these Filipinos have a colonial mentality because they're subbing to these vloggers with the idea that they're going to stay in the Philippines and just promote the Philippines. Well, guess what? That doesn't drive tourism. Look at Bali, a small island, has 10 million, almost, I think it's 8 million tourists per year. They don't need all this exposure from countless foreign vloggers. They still get 10 million, almost 10 million tourists. Singapore, one small island, that's like 17 million tourists. Philippines, 7,000 islands, gets less than 10 million tourists. So these people don't have the faintest idea of what drives tourism. It's not foreign vloggers, and it's definitely not Pinoy baiters. No way. There's no way they drive tourism whatsoever. The only slight drive of tourism is for domestic tourism. Filipinos or OFW will watch it and say, hey, that looks nice. It's near my place. I'm going to go check it out. That's it. That's as far as it goes. So next time, if you're a Filipino and you're like, oh, thank you for promoting my country, they don't promote anything. They are only in the Philippines for their own self-promotion. They're only in the Philippines for views and subs and clicks so they can gain the influence so they don't have to work in their own country. That is the reason they're in the Philippines. They're not there to promote. Unless they're getting paid by the government to do so, which in some cases, that is true. But for the most part, no, they're not getting paid. Sorry, they're not there to promote. They're there for their own self-promotion. So they're there to promote themselves. And all these people are saying, oh yeah, but they're also promoting the Philippines. And they're not. It doesn't drive tourism. It's proven it doesn't drive tourism. Look at Bali and Singapore, like I was saying. It doesn't drive tourism at all. Is that some of these vloggers are not properly paying taxes. So they're not declaring their income. And they're doing all of this on a tourist visa. Now look at it this way. Their channel is a business. It's their business. It's their company. Okay? They are doing business in the Philippines. That's their channel. It's an online business. The problem is that they're not declaring their income because they are on a tourist visa. They're technically, declaring their income from when they're in England or in Austria or Canada or wherever. But they're not declaring their income from their travel vlogging. And they're not even travel vloggers, they're Pinoy baiters. But because they're not declaring their income. See, there's a rule where you're not supposed to be paying taxes on the same income twice. Obviously, that's fair. You shouldn't have to pay twice on the same income. So if you're a travel vlogger and you're declaring your income in your own country, then no, you don't have to pay income in the Philippines. That makes sense. But these vloggers are not doing that. They are not declaring income at all because they're supposedly travel vloggers on a tourist visa going from country to country. They don't have to pay taxes when they do that. They literally do not pay taxes. But if they're just going to stay in one country and Pinoy bait and just stay in that one country and basically live in that country, but do it all on a tourist visa, they should be paying taxes to the Philippines. And I know there's a new law, a new bill in, I guess it's a law now where they're going to crack down on foreign workers that are not paying taxes, illegal foreign workers, people operating businesses, stuff like that. And you know what? Those foreign vloggers are for sure in that group. So hopefully they're going to crack down on that, and that'll help with the exploitation. We don't want to see the Philippines exploited. So if the foreign vloggers don't want to follow the rules, they can leave or they can get deported. But if they want to follow the rules and do it the right way, okay, fine. That's fair. But don't think that you can go there and then not pay taxes to the Philippines. You're there making money off the backs of Filipinos. You're using Filipinos as props in your video. Everything is in your vlog is about the Philippines, and you're in the Philippines and you're not paying taxes to the Philippines. That's a problem. That's tax evasion. That's not right.